Yes! Woo! Come on! We're back, baby. Mike and Lebs talk football, and we are fired up today. As always, it's your boy Lebs here, and I'm joined by my buddy Michael Flowers. Mike, man, it's good to be back. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. What's going on, brother? Round two.
Round two. So for everybody listening, we got up very early this morning and recorded a nice, lengthy, solid episode. Felt really good about it. And that episode was quickly sacrificed to the gods of technological issues and problems. So we are back tonight. We are recording another episode. We're going to do the talk about the same stuff. I think we're going to shorten it a little bit, though, because, Mike has a life and he's in medical school and has to study. So we're going to roll through this quickly. So jumping straight into it. Mike, do you feel like the top four is pretty much set for the year?
The top four is set. Yeah, definitely. Liverpool's up 10 points on Chelsea. I mean, they've got I think they've got a game in hand, but I just don't see it happening. I think it's going to maybe finish as is. Top four, definitely stay. We might jump United. Tottenham might jump us. Doesn't matter. Fourth is an automatic qualifier. And really, that game on Sunday, it was Sunday, wasn't it? Spurs and Chelsea, yeah. I mean, if there's not a better encapsulation of kind of the changing of the guard. Last year's champions, just kind of their demise and fall. And Tottenham, being kicked out of the group stage last year in the Champions League. Now they're making it to the round of 16. They're beating Real Madrid. They're finishing top four, top three consistently. I think there's some great teams coming ahead for that team as long as they can keep Pochettino. What do you think, man?
Yeah, they got to keep the squad together. They got to keep Poch, however, I don't know what they say. I always see them go P-O-C-H. Poch, I don't know. Poch, like Tupac.
Man, who's more important to that team? Is it Pochettino or Harry Kane? I have a
Pochettino.
Pochettino. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, because they're getting it. There you go. This weekend, case in point, they got it done without Harry Kane.
Why does it keep surprising me? Harry Kane's injured. I'm like, they don't have a chance. They'll drop out. Doesn't matter. Son, Dele Alli, even though we want to take a baseball bat up to the side of his head. Paulie D, shout out.
Paulie D?
I said Paulie D's super nice. I'm sorry, Paulie D, if you're listening. Please stop. Yeah. Please continue listening to our podcast.
Yeah, Spurs played really well. Chelsea played okay, but Spurs had more chances, and they took their chances. So I think that game played out. That game was a symbol of the direction that the two teams are headed, and I agree with you. A changing of the guard, really good way to put it.
I mean, Morata scoring a headed goal and not doing another damn thing. Come on,
That's it. That's what it is.
All right.
That's perfect. So let's talk about the early game on Saturday. Why don't you give me your summary of Crystal Palace versus Liverpool?
Oh, man. This is a game, traditional Liverpool, and I even still felt this when I was watching the match. That's a game traditional Liverpool loses 20 out of 20 times. Do something silly. Karius comes out, thought he was going to get the ball and takes, I think it was Zaha. He took Zaha out. By the way, Zaha's a great player. He's a live wire. I think, maybe he'll get another chance at the big clubs again. Didn't make it at Manchester United, but I think he's matured a lot. Anyways, yeah, I mean, we go down a goal. Crystal Palace starts digging in, and I'm like, man, I've seen this before. But we keep fighting, and come out with the win. I'm more thrilled about that match than, 5-0 wins. Because that takes that grit, like to be able to kind of put your foot on a match.
Yeah, you guys played well. You deserved it. And, boy, Mane's a lucky boy, though, isn't he? Like, I could have seen that game easily ending 1-1.
He's a very, very lucky boy. He knows it, too.
Yeah.
I will say that is the first yellow he got. They're calling it diving. I mean, there was contact. Sure, he embellished. But until they change the rules of the game, that's what players feel they have to do. He went down late, but there was contact. But, man, he knew exactly what he was doing when he grabbed that ball. Crystal Palace was about to break into the box, and he just reached over and grabbed it. Cannot believe that he did not get a second yellow and a red. But sometimes you just need the calls, and that's what separates you,
Yep. Yeah, the winning teams, the top teams, they're always kind of famous for the calls tend to go their way. And that's what you need sometimes, and got one there.
I got to do a little plug real quick. That plug for my boy Andy Robertson. I mean, what a signing. $8 million. I think you guys spent like 130 something on defensive backs last year. We spent $8 million. Sorry. But I mean, Mendy's been injured. Okay.
And ours were unbelievably old, and we didn't have anybody ready to come up in the academy. But
Fair enough.
yeah, I give you props though. Robertson has been great. Alexander Arnold has been decent. So yeah. Robertson's good though.
Arnold can have his rough game, but he's young. I think we need to protect him a little bit better. You know, Klein being out, but I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, even the goal we scored was solid there. Man, there's so much to say there. Scoring a goal like that, one touch from Andy Robertson, beautiful assist. Mo Salah really hasn't been in the game at that point, hasn't had a touch, hasn't had a sniff at goal. And a lot of players would take that chance and just scratch at it, you know, not just being rusty, whatever you want to call it. The dude has so much composure. I think it's the 86th minute. Takes his time, a little shimmy, and then just buries it in the corner. Can't say enough about him.
Class. Absolute class. Yeah. And this is something that we'll talk about more in later episodes. We'll have a full-out debate about who should win the Player of the Year between him and Kevin. So I don't want to get into it right now. But, I mean, he's absolute class, and I think there's plenty of reason to give him Player of the Year. Obviously, I say go with Kevin, but I'm if he gets it, I won't be that upset because he's earned it. He's unbelievable. Are they?
Voting. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll go ahead.
I don't get it. The voting is going to be closed before tomorrow's match. I think the voting's already done, and it doesn't make any sense. Why are you voting for the Player of the Year before the FA Cup's done and the Champions League and the season? It's bizarre.
Yeah, man, whatever. And these awards don't really mean that much, you know. Like the players would rather have trophies than these awards.
Tell me about the dirty deed you guys did at Goodison. The shameless stripping of Big Sam and Everton.
Oh, poor Wayne Rooney. They're going to have to, carry him to the training ground because his knees and ankles, his back, everything just got just broken. Leroy Sané and Kevin De Bruyne were megging him and mocking him in the middle of the field. There was one point where Leroy ran right at him with the ball, megged him to Kevin. Kevin got it, did this little flick back over Wayne, and just left him in the dust. And it was utterly embarrassing. If you haven't, that's my dirty talk for the day. We're doing abbreviated, so I'm mixing it in. That was nasty, filthy.
I gotta say, that seems really unnecessary. That whole sequence they did to Rooney there.
That was for the fans right there. Like, hey, we know you guys want to see this. This one's for you guys. It was the Globetrotters versus the Generals or whatever they were. So what I really want to talk about, and so I'm going to briefly talk about the Everton game, and that's going to lead us in because we're doing an abbreviated podcast. So briefly talk about the Everton game, and that's going to lead me into how this is going to apply to you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
So Pep came out with a 3 at the back system that we have not yet seen this year. It was a hybrid system where Aymeric Laporte, our new center back, French center back that we got from Athletic Bilbao, he played on the left side of a back 3, but he played a hybrid position between a left-sided center back and a left back. And anyone who's watched City closely this year knows that a lot of the time in a 4-3-3 that we play, the fullbacks tuck inside, and that causes Raheem Sterling on the right and Leroy Sané on the left to hug the touchline at their advanced position as wingers, and that really stretches the pitch and at the same time allows us to control the midfield. Well, we played 3 at the back, and so with 3 at the back, that doesn't allow us to have 3 guys up front most of the time. It just gives you 2 up front. Well, with this combo hybrid weird system that Pep's come up with, on defense, it's 5 at the back with Sané kind of coming back, but when we have the ball, it's like 2 at the back, and Aymeric Laporte tucks into the midfield like he is actually playing left back, and Sane plays wing like he normally would. So it's really weird. It is strong defensively because you have all 5 players back on defense, but then it gives you this unbelievable control of the midfield with another midfielder in there, with Laporte being tucked into the midfield like he's the left back, and Sane still way out on the left wing that allows us to stretch the game. So this weird hybrid, I believe, is what Pep has been, that's his final form, if you will, for the team. That's what he's been trying to get to. A system where they can switch back and forth and both have a wide pitch but still control the midfield but still be solid defensively. And I think he's been getting this ready to unleash against Liverpool tomorrow.
Man, super risky. If he does it, I mean, tactical genius. And, I mean, you take that kind of risk. So you're saying when you have possession, you go to a back 2 essentially? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. Yep.
So what's the danger in that? Maybe getting hit on the counter or something like that. Do you see a vulnerability there?
Absolutely. I mean, and we're always going to be vulnerable to getting hit on the counter. But that's the great thing about this system, is that if Laporte doesn't push up and tuck into the midfield, then he will stay back. And like tomorrow, I would see him staying back against you guys more and not pushing up as much.
Right.
And so that's the beauty of this hybrid, is that he has the freedom to, when we're playing against a team that is not as dynamic as Liverpool on the break, he can tuck into the midfield and everybody slightly adjusts and they're ready for it and they know what to do. Where when you want to play a little more defensive, he can just sit back there in that normal 3 at the back system and give us a little more defensive stability. So it's really weird. Anybody who was watching our story on Instagram, I was very confused before the game, and I really tried to pay attention during the game to see how it was going to work out. It's really odd, so I'm interested in seeing it more in the future.
Is there just something coming to my mind? Is there any chance he's given Laporte a run kind of on that left side to maybe try and nullify or man up on Salah?
Yeah, I think so. The problem is Laporte's not that fast. And so Salah will absolutely burn him if it gets to a foot race.
It comes to mind, but it also seems uncharacteristic of Pep to be a reactive manager. I think he's going to play his – I don't know. That's a tactical adjustment also.
Yeah, I have no idea, because the other thing is we don't have a real left back. Fabian Delph, Mendy went out. Benjamin Mendy, our $55 million left back from Monaco, French left back from Monaco. He had a knee injury at the beginning of the year, MCL or ACL, I don't remember which one. So he's been out since the very beginning of the season. Fabian Delph has filled in, Zinchenko has filled in, Danilo has filled in, and all 3 of those guys have done their job, but none of them are a true left back. And Laporte has played left back before and is more sound defensively than any of them. So I would expect tomorrow to see the same lineup. I think Everton, what I've been trying to say is, we played the best football we've played all year. The best game we've played the entire year was Saturday against Everton. We embarrassed them. And I think that was a dress rehearsal for Liverpool for playing you guys tomorrow, I think. But there have also been people I've been reading online today, people saying, well, Pep wouldn't show his hand right before Liverpool like that. I don't know. I don't know if it's him showing his hand. I don't know what he's going to do. He is
more
so unpredictable.
Than telling, really, if you're Klopp and you're like, which I don't think Klopp or Pep are those kind of managers to change their game plan. I think they're going to do their thing. But also it could be like some kind of smoke screen, or I don't know.
Yeah. It could. I have no idea. But if I was Pep and I was trying to pick a lineup, I would probably play the exact same team that I saw on the field against Everton, because that was the best we've played the entire year. And that's Laporte, Laporte at left center back, Vincent Kompany in the middle, Nicolas Otamendi on the right, Kyle Walker as right wing back, Leroy Sané as left wing back. In the middle, Fernandinho, the best midfield in the world right now, Fernandinho, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. And then up front, Gabriel Jesus, it's come out. Aguero is definitely injured and definitely will not be playing. And then I would play Raheem Sterling in this game. I back him, I rate him, and I think it's time for him to get this Anfield monkey off his back. and he needs to just get in there and do it. So I would start him over Bernardo Silva, and then I would start Bernardo Silva against United on Saturday.
Do you think so? Both of us, the bizarreness of it. So you guys are pretty much set for winning the league. I mean, you are set for winning the league.
Mm-hmm.
We are set for finishing in the top 4. Are there eyes anywhere else? We both have a derby coming up this weekend. Do either managers care right now?
I don't think Pep does. He's even come out and said before and after the Everton game, he's like, guys, my eyes are on the Champions League. If I know I want to win against United. I'm going to try to win against United, but we have to keep our eyes on the prize, and that's the Champions League. And a lot of the fans aren't super happy about the idea of playing a slightly winked team against United. But me personally, I'm a little more pragmatic, I think, and I haven't had to put up with United supporters, my entire life telling me that my team was crap, and these guys that live in Manchester and that have grown up as City fans and true Manx and true Blues. So I understand why it's a little more emotional for them, but I want to win the Champions League. So I'm fine with playing a weakened team against United. How about you? What do you think y'all will play a weakened team against Everton in the derby?
Yeah, I think we will. I think you might see players like, I can't think of our striker's name. Young player that plays for England. I think Bobby will be rested. I think you should expect Salah to be rested. I think Danny Ings will have a game.
Is it Dominique?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expect him to play because we'll be rearing to go for the next week, for the second leg. So.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a risk in there. You don't have to respect Everton, but. Whatever, I don't care. I'm so pumped for tomorrow. I can't even see straight. I'm also terrified. Yeah. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I am too. And I just want to go on record saying I'm terrified of tomorrow. I think that if we played this game 10 times, you could get 10 completely different games, and I think all 10 are going to be crazy. So let me go ahead and ask you that. What do you see? We can come on to what you guys need to do in order to win, but what do you think will happen when the whistle blows? What's the first half hour going to look like?
I've thought about this, and you and I have talked about it, and I think our team is prepped for a very intense physical pressing game. I expect us to be at Anfield. I expect our crowd to be booing every time you touch the ball. I expect them to be screaming every time we take the ball off you. I expect when your bus rolls up, I expect fans will be out there, smoke going off, singing. I expect full intensity.
Pounding the sides of the bus, flares, crackers underneath, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Yeah, if anyone wants to see that, look at what happened with Villarreal whenever they came in. It's pretty cool, and I didn't think it was anything out of line. But yeah, I expect it to be really intense. At one point, I thought both managers would be held back and kind of conservative in this, but I don't believe that. I think these are two ambitious managers, both making the mark on the Premier League right now. And this is the biggest game for Klopp since he's come to Liverpool? Has Pep had a bigger game since he's come to City?
Probably not, because the season is, I don't know. I mean, let's say we go out to you guys, we're still going to win a double, a domestic double, which is really not bad.
Oh, I don't mean that in a way like risk or anything like that. Like maybe the most important game or.
I think this is the most hyped game we've had yet in his tenure. Yeah. I can't think of a game where both sets of fans have been more terrified and up for it at the same time. So, yeah, it's crazy. I just want to real quick read a quote from Kevin De Bruyne about our first half against Everton, because I just think this is so cool. So the first half that City played against Everton on Saturday was described by Phil Neville as the best first half of football he's ever seen. And I felt the same way watching it. So I don't know if I'll always feel the same way as Phil Neville, but he's actually a pretty decent pundit. But anyway, so Kevin after the game said, "How do I describe that first half? You feel in control. You feel like everything that is happening you have power over, offensively, defensively. You know that you are in control. The first half especially was the best football we have played this season. I don't know how to say it here. The first half especially was something different. Another level." That gives me chills. Another level. They didn't know what to do. We controlled it so much, they didn't know whether to press us, whether to stay, and it was something in between in the end. You could see it in their faces in the first half that they don't know what is happening. And that's why you feel in so much control, I guess, when you see it on their faces. So that's what we've been trying to get to. And I think this team is finally getting where Pep wants us to be. And if we come out and showcase that tomorrow, I'm going to be very, very, very proud. But just like you, I expect the beginning to be absolute heavy metal football, turn the amps up to 11. It's going to be crazy. I think Liverpool are going to press balls to the wall, at the beginning of the game. It's going to be nuts. Don't blink. What else? What we want to go ahead and go into predictions for scores?
Yeah, let's do it. Give a prediction and give kind of a little summary on what you think has to go right for your team to go through.
All right.
On this first leg.
In order for us to go through in the entire tie, we need to keep this first leg close. If we lost tomorrow, if we lose by 1 goal and we're 1 goal behind in aggregate going into the Etihad, I'm not that upset. I think it's still doable. Like if it's 3-2, if we get 2 away goals and it's 3-2 going back to our house next week, I think we could still win it. What we are going to have to do is not give the ball away in our half. If one of our back line gives the ball away and Firmino, Mane, and Salah are busting down our door, all three, running with the ball at the goal with like just Company and, that's it back there, or Company and Otamendi, we're going to be in trouble. So whoever is in the back line cannot give the ball away to your boys. So that's going to be the key. If we give the ball away in the midfield or we give the ball away up front, that's not that big of a deal. But our key to success for the game is not give the ball away when we're building out of the back. And if we're able to do that, if we're able to keep the ball away from the hands of your front three tomorrow, I think we most likely win the game. My prediction overall for the game, because I do think that we're going to be successful. We played so well against Everton, and I know how crappy they are. I know that there is not a good comparison because Liverpool are so much better than them. But if we can play 3 quarters as well as we did, then I think we have a legitimate shot. So my prediction for the game tomorrow, I think I'm calling it 3-2 City. 3-2.
Okay.
How about you?
So, yeah, I can do it. I can go through City and talk about, how much better your midfield is, the goals against record, points. But in the games that we played City and won, there is looking back at our 4-3 win, and games before that, something flipped in us in those big games. And it's about this concentration and bravery and desire, just full-fledged desire to go out there and just throw your body out on the line. And that's what it's going to take tomorrow. It's going to take hard pressing. I expect our team to be up for it. They're always up for the big games. So what has to go right, basically bottom line is we have to lead the tempo, we have to force the issue, and we cannot get involved with City's game plan. We have to disrupt your game plan in possession and recycling. That's our key to the game, and I think everyone's going to be up for it. So I think tomorrow will end, I'm going to say 2-1 or 3-1 Liverpool. I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool. And 2-1, that's a good result for us. But a scoring draw would be a terrible result for us for y'all to get the away goal. I think that'd be really tough.
So if I offered you a 2-2 draw right now, would you take it?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it because I don't see you guys going through either leg not scoring. Our defense has been a lot better, but I just don't see it, And if we get down 2 away goals to y'all, that's going to be a deep hole.
Yeah, definitely. Name your starting lineup for tomorrow. If you're the manager, who's your starting 11?
Yeah, so a couple things, guys. Emery Chan is out with a back injury, confirmed he won't be playing tomorrow. Matip looks like he'll be out the rest of the season. Lalana is going to be out for at least a few weeks. So our squad is going to be Karius. Excuse me. Loris Karius, who's been playing great, took the spot from Mignolet, well deserved. Then you're going to have Andy Robertson, the beautiful Scot, on the left back. You're going to have Van Dijk, Lovren, and Trent. And we've got to watch Trent. And I think that could be a special, I think that's something Pep may tell a few players to focus on. Focus on him. You focus on Trent, Salah had to track back more. Anyways. But that's our best option right now. He's a good player. He's just young. And then in the midfield, Ox, Henderson playing a little bit deeper. And then it's either Wijnaldum or Milner. I'm not. That's a tough call. I could see Klopp choosing for experience there and starting Milner. That would be my guess. Yeah, so Milner, Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain in the midfield, and then Salah, Firmino, Mane up top.
Milner's played pretty well against City too in the games that he's been back.
Mm-hmm.
That he's been against us. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that as well. I'm switching this, and this may be tough for you to answer. If you were Pep Guardiola, would you play Raheem Sterling or would you play Bernardo Silva?
Not what do I think Pep will do, but what will Pep do?
What would you do if you Michael Flowers, are the manager of Manchester City? Do you play Raheem Sterling or do you set him on the bench?
I would play Sterling. He's had a great goal-scoring record for City this year, his best tally ever. And I think eventually he's got to get over this Liverpool rut. And I mean, is there a bigger game to do it? Show that belief in your player and tell him to go out there and grab it.
Yeah.
But that being said, the atmosphere is going to be toxic. It's going to be loud, and Raheem has a track record for that.
Yeah.
For kind of withdrawing himself in that game. So maybe the safer option would be, not Sterling.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want an answer. You don't want me to just fucking dance around it, so I'll answer. I would not play Sterling.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you swapped on me. But all right, you wouldn't play him? Change your mind?
No, I wouldn't, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I would play him, and I think he will get played, and I would play him because I believe in him. I love him. He's like that little kid that you always just want him to succeed, and yet he finds a way to just screw it up over and over again. That's Raheem. That's Raz for you. But man, he's got so much talent, and if he is going to become what England needs him to be, he's going to have to step up. And if he has a good game, he might earn some respect back from a bunch of the English fans, and they might be a little more willing to get behind him for the national team. I don't know. But I think he could earn some respect if he came out and had a good game tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Awesome, man. So we play tomorrow, 1:45. And then this Saturday, you guys play Everton. We play United. It'll be at the Etihad. I foresee us rotating a few players. But I do think that Kevin De Bruyne will still play. I do think that Leroy Sané will still play. Gabriel Jesus will probably play. But Aguero might be ready by then. So I could actually see Aguero getting the start against United. But we are going to rotate. Bernardo, I'm pretty confident Raheem won't play both games in a row. Bernardo Silva will probably come in. I bet David Silva sits and Gundogan starts instead. Fernandinho will probably play again because I've never seen him get tired. I have, but this season he just plays every game. He's ridiculous. So I do think we'll rotate a couple players, but I think we will beat United this weekend and win the Premier League this Saturday. And I think you guys should handle Everton easily. I don't think it's going to be one of the difficult. I don't think it's going to be even nearly as difficult as some of the derbies have been in the past few years. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's got to be the weakest Everton team I've seen since I started watching, for sure. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this is going to be a very high energy, emotional match tomorrow. So you know how that goes. Kind of getting yourself up for the next game, and then you've got to be looking forward to the next week of City.
This is crazy. This is the most intense week of football we've had all year, and we've had a crazy year. I mean, the Christmas period is nuts, but this tops everything. The stakes are higher. There's so much on the line. I can't say enough about it. I'm so happy that I only work a half day, and I found a pub in Shreveport that I'm going to, so hopefully I'm going to a different one than last time, and hopefully there will be some people there to watch the game with. I'm so amped. Where are you going to have to watch it? You're not going to be able to watch it live, right? You're going to have to watch it later?
Oh, I'm going to watch it live.
Okay.
For sure.
Are you skipping class or?
No, we'll get out at noon, so it'll be fine.
Okay.
Man, I'm sick to my stomach. It's been 10 years waiting for a match like this. I mean, we've been in the Champions League once. We got knocked out in the group stage with Rodgers. But I think the fans are going to be up for it, and I think Anfield is going to be absolutely mind-blowing tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. Awesome. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
I don't think so. We'll see how this week goes. We'll see how the game goes, and we'll maybe record again next week after the second leg.
Shoot, I kind of want to do a reaction podcast tomorrow night, but we'll figure it out. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
That'd be cool. Get that emotional response. I know the fans want to hear it.
Oh man, am I gonna be crying? I'll cry.
I might be crying. Awesome. All right. By the way, last thing, everybody out there, since it's abbreviated, we won't go into a lot of detail, but for Music Corner, I want to make an addition. There's this kid named Khalid, Khalid. He's got 2 songs on the radio. He's got one that almost everybody's heard, Young, Dumb, and Broke. He's got another one that just got on the radio called Location. He's an Army brat. His mom was in the military. He grew up all over the place, but he more or less grew up in El Paso, Texas. Writes all his own tunes. He's legit. Very, very chill pop music. I really like his lyrics. My wife and I have been vibing to his stuff for like a month now. There you go, Mike. You got it on? Perfect. Well, hey, we can let that run on the way out.
All right, guys. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. Hope everybody watches. We'll get a reaction up for you. Thanks so much for listening.
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Pauly D. Don't give up on us.
That's right. Thanks, guys. See you later. I guess this sounds like another sad love song. I can't get over how